action on EA Sports. Alongside the former Chicago Bulls guard, Jay Williams, I'm Ed Cohen. And Jay, I know this takes you back.
Ed, there's no better feeling this time of year than hearing sneakers squeak on the court and seeing guys get a good lather while they're getting ready for battle.
It's that pregame feeling, and now it's the opening tip. And the bucket's good for DeMarcus. 6'11", 270. That's a massive man. You can make a case there's nobody like him.
There isn't anybody like him in the NBA. He is an absolute bully on the block, can burrow his way through traffic, make it easy, and also possesses that sweet shooting touch from the outside.
Oh, leaves the defender in the dust. Boogie abusing the rim. Big finish.
How about right after the dunk, he looks right over towards the bench, gets a call from the coach about what defense they're in, and then gets his team set. Those are people that are able to lead men.
Beverly.
Double team. Here we go.
Shot from the lane won't go. To Davis. With a drop step. Using the post to his advantage there, and the finish at the rim. Who compares to AD offensively?
We would be doing a disservice if we compared AD just to one player. He's an amalgamation. Think about Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Marcus Camby. Throw them all into a blender, you get Anthony Davis.
George to the basket, but it won't go. Kuzma to Danny Green. Strong finish that time for Danny Green.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Leonard. His first effort off the mark. And a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Los Angeles, they have it. Danny Green to Kyle Kuzma. Probing the defense. Just enough of a head fake to help on that one.
I'm telling you right now, with moves like that, scoring is not going to be an issue tonight.
Strong finish for Paul George.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. James to Davis. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Had a good look there, but it's no good.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot that the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
George on the drive, but his shot misses. To Kyle Kuzma. Davis. To James. Has a chance. Slams it home on the putback.
Ed, it's pretty amazing how athletic bigs can be when it comes to getting an easy 2 points, huh?
Davis. The pass taken away by the Clippers. Beverly into the front court. Margins 8. Kyle Kuzma. Huge block. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Kyle Kuzma. Changes coming from both sides right now. From the outside, no good.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
And that's going to get out of bounds. Off a Laker. Paul George. A drive through the paint, but his shot misses. To James. Oh, he had it.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. different shots at different angles, high off the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
LeBron with it up top. It's an 8-point lead. Leaves his man in the dust and finishes at the rim.
Man, if we were at Rucker Park right now, everybody will be wilding on the court. Guaranteed.
And it's Harrell who comes away with the rebound. Beverly into the front court. Just under a minute to go in a very one-sided first quarter of play. Knocked loose. Lakers come up with it. Leaving no doubt. Slams it down. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Leonard to Paul George. Fires the three. He made his first effort, but not that time. It's James controlling the offense. And Jay, they called the foul.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
From 18 feet at the buzzer. First quarter's complete. So far, it's been all Lakers. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Williams across the timeline. Down 12. So the first points for him in this first half, and he knocks it down for three.
Yeah, they really need him to get going. Really surprised that none of his teammates have been talking to him. This is when he needs him the most. They have to uplift him, help him continue to be confident on the court.
Curling inside, LeBron James. Oh, 3 for 8. He's got to do better.
This offseason, I heard so many voices, even that of the great Shaquille O'Neal, talking about how LBJ needed to submit his own legacy. Well, for LeBron, it's not about chasing external accolades. It's about hunting your own legacy, and that's to be the greatest of all time.
JaVale McGee with the block.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Short jumper stays out. Danny Green to Kyle Kuzma. Has a look. Deep two there. Won't go. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
It's not every day that you see a 6'9", 265-pound freight train coming down the lane. You probably want to step out of the way.
From long range. Not that time. He misses. Oh, working hard there. Collects the rebound and gets it back up for the slam.
And no emotion, just that ice-cold stare. That's a sign of somebody who's here to compete.
Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes.
Entering the game for the Los Angeles Clippers, number 20.
Williams' shot won't go. To Harkless. LA with 4 to shoot. JaVale McGee snatching it out of the air. And the reward, he's going to the line.
I say this a lot, and it's only because coaches harp on it all the time. Read the scouting report. Know who you can and should send to the line. This is a case of knowing a shooter probably had a better chance of hitting a jumper than he does of hitting the free throws.
LBJ with it. Fires the three. Not getting the bounce. Williams into the front court. 9-point margin. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Okay, I saw a little bit of a handle there, but let's see if that confidence is still there down the stretch.
Down for McGee. to Kyle Kuzma. Here's a chance from long range. Gets it to go. Coach cannot be happy with that closeout.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
On the follow. Way to stay with it.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Across the timeline comes James. His team on top by 8. Knocked loose. LeBron here against Harkless. A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go.
And you see so many players quit on the play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Knocked loose. And that's going to get out of bounds. Off a Laker. It'll stay Clipper basketball. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Leonard. Going to launch beyond the arc. And Kawhi Leonard. Good on the quick release there.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose a dagger with the 3.
Kyle Kuzma buries it on the catch and shoot.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
George, oh, that's how it's done.
Well, the defense has been good, but the shot-making ability has been better. And sometimes for NBA players at this level, the more you're in their face, the more it helps them center their focus on the target, which is making the shot. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's a real thing, Ed.
James. Clippers have it. Anthony Davis tips it.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Kyle Kuzma, strong finish.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Leonard to George. From the painted area, won't go down. To James. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Paul George fires, straight down the middle for 2.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Layup's good. That's as high percentage as it gets.
It can only be one of 2 things here. 1, the defender ran out of gas, or 2, this dude is just unstoppable.
Leonard. Message received. Well defended.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. To Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
Here's lesson number 1. When you allow a player like that the freedom of space to dance with the ball, there's no telling what kind of break dance move they might hit you with.
LeBron James pins it. Good first half for the Lakers. They are out in front with the lead. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen. All set to go here in the second half. The third quarter is underway. George. Rebound Cousins. Bad pass there. Clippers have it.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort, it's off the charts.
Lakers ball. James to Kyle Kuzma. Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
It just seems like nobody can stop him but him. Once he's found his offensive swag, that boy's deadly.
Leonard to Paul George. Trying to cash in. Not going down for him this time.
Oh! Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. George. And that's rebounded by the Lakers. To James. Kawhi Leonard sends it away.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Beverly into the front court. His club's staring up at an 8-point deficit. Kawhi Leonard sizing up Cousins. Goes reverse to lay it in.
In the paint, you need to finish. Just like that.
LBJ has it. Knocked loose. Clippers have got it. Leonard buries it into three.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
James to Danny Green. Beyond the arc for three. Buries the three. He's too good to leave that open.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Too much contact, and free throws coming.
I've seen it happen so many times. Small things like that foul can end up becoming a momentum changer. Let's see how this one plays out.
First try at the line, no good. Knocks down the second after missing the first. Leonard to George. And the slam.
I don't think I could do that on the 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Now preparing to shoot at the line.
The game is too tight for you to be taking risks like that. You want to avoid foul trouble at all costs.
LeBron James, couple of free throws on the way. Shooting 50%, some yes, some no in this contest. 2 for 2 on that trip. Beverly into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. It's good. Defense has to pick things up.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jogging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
James to Kyle Kuzma. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Buries the wide open 3. That's too easy.
And this squad just continues to light it up from long range. One of the things I learned about teams like this, teams that fall in love with the three-point shot, as quickly as they built the lead, is as quickly as they can lose it if they're over-reliant on the three-point shot.
Whoa, what a finish.
And easy, too, get back on defense.
Short jumper won't fall. Danny Green to Davis. Ah, the monster stuff. He took it out on the rim that time.
Oh, there's no better feeling than after throwing that one down, hanging on the rim a little bit, looking at your opponent beneath you, making him recognize that's where you'll be the entire ball game.
Stuffs it down with authority. Now the Clippers call a timeout as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Anthony Davis sends it away.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
To James. Caldwell Pope. Beverly into the front court. His guys trail by 10. Short jumper won't go down.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Add 2 points to the board.
There's a natural tendency when you guard a right dominant hand player to send him left. But for a guy who's a good mid-range shooter, that's wrong. His pace dribble is his left hand. Force him to go right and know that the chances are higher of him trying to drive and attack the rim. That's knowing the scouting report.
James. And draws the foul.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
Jared Dudley has got 2 shots coming. For his career, 73%. First one, count it. Goes 2 for 2.
Good shot.
It's George. For 2, he connects. Had all the time in the world. Too easy.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
LeBron James with the rock. For 3. It's no good. Shot's not going down. That misses with 2 seconds to go. 3 quarters complete. The Lakers have the lead. It'll be Lakers ball as we begin the 4th quarter. They have clearly been the better side so far. Jay, that's reflected on the scoreboard.
Well, the cardinal rule in the game of sport is whenever you go into the 4th quarter, it's 0-0. You have to play the game with the scoreboard saying 0-0. And if you can win that game by double digits, then you've done your job in the 4th.
LeBron James trying to cash in on a 3-point play. Shooting 75% so far tonight.
I like that.
LeBron James with a piece.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Paul George, 4-2, and he hits.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Los Angeles has the basketball. James to Danny Green. Lets it fly from long range. Off the mark. Leonard cleans it up. And a putback slam.
And I got a chance to hear a lot of the conversation at the bench. And one of the things they called out was owning the backboards. Looks like the message is really getting through.
Jumper's good.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
LeBron into the front court. Up 5. Clippers have it. Leonard. Too easy. Defense has to communicate.
I know the refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
And he knocks it down. Jay, nice look right there. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Leonard to Williams. And buries it. Jay, they'll take that any day.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
Now the Lakers going to use a timeout as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point ball game.
You know, Ed, usually in timeouts, you see coaches give these rah-rah speeches. And what happens is it goes through the player's left ear and out the right. They don't pay attention. I've been a part of those huddles. What I just saw, though, I saw a coach snap a clipboard. No doubt about it, he has his team's attention.
It's James controlling the offense. To Kyle Kuzma. Crossover, gets inside, and the slam dunk.
Look at that, calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move there.
He was all over him. Kuzma to James. And scores.
Ed, sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
George to Williams. Goes to the right side. George in a matchup with Boogie. Has a chance. Wide open look, won't go. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
That's the intensity you need to see. Whenever a player running back on defense after a dunk like that holds the inside of his forearm, it lets you know how hard he dunked that basketball.
To James. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. It was right there. Paul George. For three, knocks it down. Defender has to get there next time.
Defense, do the math. You force them to take tough twos, you'll probably have a better chance to win this game if you can slow down the pace.
It's James. And it's Williams there for the rebound. To Paul George. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. George, well defended. LeBron into the front court. His guys now trailing by a point. Kyle Kuzma, strong finish.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Caldwell Pope to Davis. And a throwdown.
That might have been a little bit easier than expected there, considering the score.
Timeout called here by the Clippers. They're going to have to draw something up for an open look at a three.
Today's game, claim your prize at the customer service desk located near section 104.
Leonard. He's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
The Lakers get the victory as they get a good win on the road. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.